Slay. Fuck the NRA, but I'll blow your fucking house out with a gun, baby. I don't give a fuck, your lights out.
Alright, welcome to or welcome back to the channel, whatever the case may be for you. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Damien, and this is not a reaction channel. But for those of you who still think it is and enjoy my reactions, there's going to be some new ones coming really soon. We're bringing some more metal back. So get excited for that. I'm not excited about making this fucking video, and I'm sorry I have to make it, but given the political landscape and current events and everything going on right now, I have to make it. I don't have a choice. I want to start off with something that I've kind of brushed on in other videos, I've spoken about briefly. But, my grandfather was one of probably the greatest man that I've ever known. And he was taken from this world much too early, as far as I'm concerned. But, he fought, him and his brothers, and my grandmother's brothers as well. They all fought in World War II. They fought against the Nazis. That is very significant to me because, I never would have dreamed in a million years that in this lifetime that we would be facing the same kind of thing that they fought so hard against and won, back then, so many years ago. I thought, I genuinely believed that, democracy had won, that the authoritarian, Nazi shit had been stomped out for good. That there was no way after those atrocities anyone would ever let anything close to this, especially on American soil, ever happen again. Boy, was I wrong, as we are seeing things unfold now. But my point in mentioning them and their the World War II and all of that is I don't want to let their victories and their fight be in vain. We are at a crucial time in history right now. We are reliving some horrifying shit, and it could potentially be even or get worse if it's not handled properly immediately. And I don't necessarily have the solution or the best ideas, but there are people who are starting to present ideas now that their mobilization is happening, and hopefully things are going to change. We will have a power shift soon, hopefully. Good. Every day it's so mentally, emotionally overwhelming. It's both frustrating and heartbreaking seeing everything that's going on that this administration, I prefer the correct term of regime, is doing, because that's what they are. I mean, it's authoritarianism. It is pure, unadulterated fascism. I could make a million videos on this, but we're just going to stick to what this video, or this particular subject. We're talking about, due process and protecting yourself and protecting others. That's what this video is going to be about. Again, I'm sorry I have to make it, but I actually care about people. The Fifth Amendment, allows for everyone to, have due process under the law. It doesn't say only U.S. born citizens or people who came here legally or anything. It doesn't specify any person. The principle is that it is everyone in this country, regardless of your status, immigration or citizenship or whatever. Taking Kilmar Abrego Garcia without any kind of trial or like substantial evidence, anything, and deporting him to a death camp in another country without due process sets a terrifying and completely illegal precedent for everyone. Literally everyone. Especially when you take the little hot mic comments that Trump was making to the president of El Salvador in the Oval Office. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't a leak. That was a threat. That was trying to intimidate anyone who wants to speak out against it. When he started talking about homegrowns and building more prisons there, more concentration camps, death camps, that was the point. He wanted that to be heard. He's trying to bully and intimidate anyone who speaks out against him. That is the point. But we're disappearing, or not we, but this regime is currently and actively, it is a racist fucking agenda. They're trying to disappear, 12 million or more non-white people, basically. There's no due process. They're not proving that any of these people are criminals. It's already been proven that many, many, many of them who have been deported to other countries without due process are not criminals, have no criminal record whatsoever in this country or any other country. Juan Carlos Lopez Gomez, I believe his name was, the 20-year-old who got arrested in Florida, and was a U.S. citizen, born in Georgia. His mother was able to provide a legitimate U.S. birth certificate proving that he is a citizen. No rap sheet, no crime record. Did absolutely nothing wrong. Went before a judge. Can't do anything. Had to stay in jail. No due process. It can happen to anyone. We're seeing more and more videos surface of people getting, people recording people getting taken out of their homes, picked up off the streets, violently abducted. Now, here's the thing. There's more and more surfacing with people like in plain clothes, non-government vehicles, refusing to identify themselves, not showing any kind of badge, not showing anything stating that they're any form of law enforcement or belong to any federal agency. They're not immigration. They're not. We don't know who they are. They're just abducting people off the street. The last one I saw, these people refused to identify themselves. They just looked like normal people. They were grabbing a man. He was, yelling for help, yelling his name for anyone who was recording, and they threw him in a Toyota minivan without government plates. Like, you can tell the overall demeanor, the way they move, the way they talk, everything. You could tell these people had no official kind of training. These are not government people. These are like privately hired, or whatever agency is just kind of radicalizing or whatever they're doing to create these essentially brown shirts, finding their racist fucking henchmen to do the jobs, to get the 12 million quota they're desperately seeking. It's dangerous, not just for all of us, anyone who speaks out against it, or anyone who's not white. And even white people who are actively doing what they can to try to save our democracy. We have to be realistic about this. We have to be worried. We have to be concerned. We have to be diligent. we have to be aware. We have to look out for each other as well as ourselves, because the threat is becoming greater, and it is extremely real, and it is extremely dangerous. But when I say it's not only dangerous for us, and especially marginalized groups and minorities, we have to look out for our LGBTQIA plus community as well, and not just from the regime, but the supporters of said regime. So in a lot of states, some states there's a good number of states that are constitutional carry. You can carry a firearm concealed without a permit, but most you do still need, or not most, but there are still states where you need to take a concealed carry class and apply for a permit through the sheriff and like all of that. That's great. That's fine and dandy. But you have in most states the option, if you see another citizen being sexually assaulted or kidnapped or robbed or whatever, if you reasonably believe that that person faces severe bodily harm or risk of death, and you can prove that, and that the use of deadly force, there's no other way to stop what is going on than to use deadly force. Legally, in most states, you are allowed to do that. Sexual assault, the R word, kidnapping, if they're being robbed at gunpoint or with a knife or whatever, all of those are considered violent and or forcible felonies, in which case a violent or forcible felony can be defended with deadly force. Even if you don't know the person, it does not have to be someone you're with or a family member or whatever. You can defend a complete stranger if you believe their life is at risk or they're at risk of severe bodily harm. If you can convince any person beyond a reasonable doubt that you had to defend them, that was the only way to defend them, legally you can do that. So I suggest also having some kind of concealed carry insurance. There's plenty of companies out there. Well, there's not. I'd say there's like 4 or 5 big ones. But do the research yourself. I can't do it for you. I can't tell you what the best company is. I don't know. I know which one I have. I'm not going to promote them because I'm not getting paid to do that, and I've never actually had to use it. I mean, I've talked to them on the phone a few times just to get information about traveling and particular laws and such, and they've been very helpful. So that's good. But it's good to have legal defense on hand if you're ever in a situation where you have to defend yourself with deadly force using a firearm. But the thing is, if you see a bunch of like plainclothes men that refuse to identify themselves in a non-government vehicle, violently grabbing someone off the street, and like the person screaming for help, for all you know, they're about to get human trafficked. They're getting kidnapped. Because essentially that is what's happening. Now we can't tell the difference if it's people under duress of a federal agency, like carrying out their work, like if they're actually obtaining a criminal, if they're just taking an innocent person because they're trying to make the quota. We don't know anymore. Due process is gone. They're snatching people up. We don't know who it is. Those people, you get what I'm saying. Like, if you believe someone is getting kidnapped, they're going to get human trafficked, or they're going to get killed, or whatever, and you feel it is necessary to intervene and take that risk and try to save that person, and you have to use deadly force to stop this action that's happening to them. Legally, you can do that. People who are considering or are already actively participating in these kind of abductions need to take this under advisement. Maybe rethink your life choices and who you're aligning yourself with. Because history and the world and everything else is not going to look kindly upon you if you are serving this regime in this very, very racist agenda in this way. Like, if I were you, I wouldn't. You know, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm making threats or being like trying to be some kind of like badass, or that I'm directing people to do this thing. I'm not. I'm just saying what is being done currently is illegal, and it's coming to the point where it's creating a danger for the rest of society, because we can't tell what. We don't know anymore. If we see, some plainclothed individuals who don't identify themselves, abducting a young Latina woman off the street, it literally could be some sex trafficking ring. We don't know anymore. We have to do what we have to do to protect our communities. So keep that in mind, and have good self-defense. Get self-defense insurance, carry insurance. And if you're not already a firearms owner, if you don't already own a gun, now is the time. Now is the time to get what you are going to need. Do some research, figure out what's going to be best. Maybe to carry, to have in your home, ammunition, everything. Get what you think you need. I've heard other people saying the same thing, and they're not wrong. And I'm not trying to fearmonger at all. This is just the reality of what is going on right now. Project 2025 is very real. All of this is in there. It's all happening in real time. It's not fake news. Everyone in this country, doesn't matter your skin color or how you voted, no one is immune, because this isn't a right and left team thing anymore. It hasn't been for a while. Like, we're all of us are down here fighting against the top, and we're not fighting hard enough. And we're about to completely watch our democracy completely crumble into nothing. And once that happens, I don't know what hope there is, but things are going to escalate soon. Things are going to get incredibly messy. And by messy, do I mean there is going to be blood? Probably. I hate saying that. I hate thinking about it. But it's what's coming. Our current president desperately wants to implement martial law. He's already taken the initial steps on day one to ensure that he was going to have a timeline to work with to be able to make it happen when he wants it to happen. 4/20, April 20th, is 90 days from the first executive order he signed about the crisis at the border. Revisiting it in 90 days and deciding whether they were going to have to, implement martial law or not. It also happens to be Hitler's birthday, It's also a meme, which, Elon loves memes. So, collectively, the significance of the date, we very well might see some real shit start popping off tomorrow. The protests are ramping up. They will use this as an excuse and find a way to connect, especially if we're protesting over people being abducted and detained and sent to other countries. If we're protesting in defense of like Palestine or illegals or anything like that, they're going to find a way to dub that as domestic terrorism and connect it with the crisis at the border and use that as an excuse to implement martial law and to start rounding up the homegrowns. And by that, anyone who is against this regime. And it's something that's real that we need to fear and prepare for. I mean, don't be like a complete coward and like lock yourself in your house. Have a healthy fear and know that the possibility is real, it's strong, and you have to fight. If you ever wonder what you would have done in 1930s, 1940s Germany, it's happening in real time. It's going real fast, and it's going to be too late before you know it. Now's the time. This is, again, let me reiterate, this is not a sides thing anymore. Nobody cares about your fucking team. All of the Second Amendment enthusiasts, the gun tubers, that are all real fucking quiet right now, this is a tyrannical government. This is a fascist regime. This is everything that, this is what the Second Amendment is for. It's not about hunting or sporting or making fucking YouTube videos. It's not about getting to play at the range and do gun reviews. This is, right now is the time that you need to be preparing and understand that our political differences don't fucking matter anymore. Nothing is going to matter real fucking soon if we don't unite and fight for our country, for our democracy, for our Constitution. Everyone who has taken an oath to that Constitution and served in any sort of federal or military position, again, you have no loyalty to the president. Like you do not owe any loyalty to the president. You owe that loyalty to the oath you took to the Constitution. Whether it's a civil war or a world war or both, it's coming. And you have to decide what really matters to you and how you want the future to remember you, and what you want to do for your family and your family's future. Because right now, again, politics don't fucking matter. Owning the libs doesn't fucking matter. The safety and the sanctity and the sovereignty of our fucking country, of our fucking democracy, our fucking Constitution, that is what matters. The safety of our communities, the freedom, the pursuit of happiness, everything that is allotted to American citizens because of that Constitution, no matter their race, sexual orientation, how they identify, religion, any of that, immigration status, it doesn't matter. We have a fight in front of us, and it's time that everybody acknowledges that, gets real, and sees what's coming, because it's not good, and we're running out of time. And basically, arm yourselves. Look out for yourself and your communities. Don't do anything illegal or stupid. Use your best judgment. But I care about all of you. If you are, former MAGA or, a conservative who didn't want any of this, and, you want to get involved and, like, help, like, do the right thing and, like, stop this authoritarian takeover, you are welcome here. We do need you. I don't want to further the hate, because there's been enough of that going on. I somewhat feel bad plugging my merch right now, but it is completely relevant to this video because there is a bunch of very politically, anti-establishment merch available now. Pro-democracy things that you might be interested in if you're as outraged and heartbroken for our country and scared as most of us are right now. Links will be in the description. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have more of this kind of stuff coming. I'm sorry, but it's what it is. And there will be more music coming too, I promise. But in the meantime, I gotta go.